morning, everyone. It is so great to be here with you. Delegates, coaches, referees, board members, and staff. Welcome to our 2025 USA Water Polo Assembly. I have to say, it's an honor to be here with you all who share this incredible passion for water polo. You know, when I look back over the past 2 years, I can't help but feel amazed by what we've accomplished together. We had some historic moments, some big changes, and honestly, we just keep growing stronger. Let's talk about Paris for a minute. What a summer that was. Our men's team gave us one of those performances we will never forget. That bronze medal didn't just end the 16-year Olympic drought. It reminded the world that American men's water polo is back. And those penalty shootouts against Australia in the quarters and Hungary in the bronze, I still get goosebumps thinking about it. And now our women's team. They are a different story, but equally inspiring one. After 3 straight Olympic golds in London, Rio, and Tokyo, finishing 4th in Paris wasn't exactly what we wanted. But here's the thing. Instead of being discouraged, they are absolutely fired up. They have their sights set on LA 2028. And let me tell you, playing for gold on a home turf, there's nothing quite like that motivation. None of this happened by accident, of course. These achievements represent years of hard work, smart investments, and dedication of everyone on this call and beyond. Which brings me to someone we need to properly thank and celebrate. After 18 incredible years leading our organization, Chris Ramsey stepped down after Paris. I mean, when you look at his accomplishment, it's pretty remarkable. He didn't just run USA Water Polo, he transformed it. Think about these numbers for a second. When Chris started, we had about 25,000 members. Today, we're pushing 50,000. Our revenue went from 4 million to 16 million. The Junior Olympics grew from 150 teams to well over 1,000 or just over 1,000 teams. And our Olympic development program, nearly 6,000 participants now. Chris also built an amazing system for building and training officials, and we all rely on right now. That's a legacy that speaks for itself. And as one chapter closes, another begins. I'm excited to introduce you all to our new CEO, Jamie Davis. Jamie has quite a resume. He just wrapped up 8 years of running USA Volleyball, where he grew membership by almost 100,000 people to 433,000. Plus, he increased their assets by 32 million. Before volleyball, Jamie was running things at some of the pretty big name organizations. He was president of Fanatics, the world's largest online sport merchandise retailer, and president of Comcast Veris Network. And he had leadership roles in News Corp, ESPN, Fox Sports, and CBS Sports. Jamie knows how to grow Olympic sports, and frankly, that's exactly what we need right now. Here's why I'm so excited about what's coming, LA 2028. This is our moment. Having the Olympics in our backyard, it's a once-in-a-generation opportunity to show the world what water polo is and what it's all about, and bring new people into our sport. But we're not here sitting around waiting for 2028. Right now, today, amazing things are happening across the country. Our junior programs are thriving. High schools in places that we've never heard before are starting teams. Our clubs are finding creative new ways to develop athletes, and our national teams, they're already preparing for the next level of competition. I want to take a moment to recognize the people who make this all possible. To the coaches who put in those long hours developing our athletes, thank you. And to the officials who keep our games fair and competitive, we see you. To the administrators keeping everything running smoothly behind the scenes, to the parents supporting their kids, and most importantly, to our athletes who bring their talent and heart to everything they do. This is for all of you, and because of you. When I step back and look at where we are today, I am honestly blown away. USA Water Polo is stronger, more dynamic, more influential than we've ever been. But you know what? I truly believe that our best days are still ahead of us. The journey to LA 28 starts right here. Right now, it starts with all of us recommitting to what we do best, growing this incredible sport, developing world-class athletes, and making sure everyone gets a chance to experience what we all know and love about water polo. I'm honored to be your chairman during this exciting time, and I have a feeling that when we get together for our next assembly, we're going to have an even more credible stories to share as we keep building the future of USA Water Polo together. Thank you all for being here and for everything you do. Let's go make some waves.
Thank you, Bill, for your comments, as well as for your tireless leadership of our board. And good morning, everybody. I'm Jamie Davis, and I'd like to welcome our members, our delegates, our coaches, our athletes, officials, board members, and staff to the 2025 USA Water Polo Assembly. I'd also like to congratulate Chris Ramsey on a great 18 years with USA Water Polo and wish him the very best in his retirement. This is my first assembly, and I'm very excited to be able to share my vision for our great organization and sport going forward. But before doing so, I thought I might just take a minute to introduce myself and my background for those of you who have yet to have the pleasure to meet. So I know Bill gave you a little bit of an overview, but I have a finance, sales, and marketing background, having an MBA and a CPA, and I've spent over 34 years actually, working in the sports industry with companies like Fanatics, CBS, ESPN, NBC, and Fox. And in fact, at Fox Sports, I was the 5th employee when we launched it in 1994. So 34 years in sports industry. What does that tell you? It tells you that I'm old, or as we like to say in water polo, I'm master's eligible. I have 12 years living and working in Asia experience, so I know how things work on the international level, and also have experience within the Olympic movement, having spent the last 8 years as the CEO of USA Volleyball. While at volleyball, we had a decent amount of success where we grew our membership by nearly 100,000 members. We transformed the organization from losing money annually to adding over $32 million in net assets. We invested more in our members, programs, and athletes than we ever did in the past. And from a competitive excellence standpoint, we won 4 golds, a silver, and a bronze medal at the Tokyo and Paris Olympic Games as well. So coming from outside of water polo, one of the things that was very, very important for me to do was to hit the ground running and do that by soliciting input from key constituent groups within the sport. I met, of course, with all the USA Water Polo staff, but in addition to that, with our national team athletes, coaches, and officials. I met with our board of directors, both collectively as well as individually. I met with key partners, our sponsors, our donors, World Aquatics, USAS, zonal boards. I've attended virtually every one of the monthly zone board chair calls to be able to hear what's happening at the grassroots level across the country. I've met with NCAA coaches, and probably most importantly, I've met with our clubs, our members, and our parents to try and hear from those people who are spending money at USA Water Polo of what they feel about us, where we can grow, and what our opportunities are. So what's my goal? Listen, 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 and learn. And that's really all I've been trying to do so far in those meetings, is to really understand what USA Water Polo's strengths are, and as importantly, what our challenges are. Try to consolidate and identify trends and opportunities. Sometimes I hear a one-off comment that may just be kind of a standalone, but I've been a lot of things that I've heard that actually trend. And when I do that, I say, okay, there might be something here that's affecting a lot of people. And if we do that, let's try to concentrate on those items first and try and do that as a stack rank those as a priority. In addition, I've been trying to assess the return on investment, or the ROI, on everything that we spend on, so that we can capitalize on things that have the highest return. And most importantly, what I'd like to say is a huge thank you to the community. Coming from outside, I can say this group has just been so welcoming, and thank you all. So, growth strategy is what I believe is paramount. In fact, when you look at the mission of USA Water Polo, you're going to see it's right there within our mission statement, which clearly says that we should grow the sport of water polo throughout the United States, as well as win medals in Olympic, World Championship, and Pan American Games. And I believe these two statements go hand in hand. I think the first and most important thing we need to do is to increase our brand affinity. People have to like USA Water Polo, like our programming, and think positively about us. If we do that, I'm convinced that that's going to help us grow our membership. By growing our membership, we're going to be able to maximize our resources and attract new partners to our organization. And doing that, that should all lead to better sustained competitive excellence in winning medals internationally. And let me go a little bit more in depth on that. So when we talk about it, I'm really turning the triangle upside down, or the pyramid upside down, and really saying that grassroots, which is the biggest part, is at the top of the pyramid, or is the strategy as the priority. If we can increase our grassroots membership, we're going to have more people then to attend our events, more people to go through the ODP programming, and that should get more eyeballs for our partners to be interested in, to even attract more partnership revenues. By having more people and more resources, that should increase our pipeline and national team programs as well. And by having more resources to spend on them, as well as more athletes, we should be able to have even more talented athletes than we already have as well, which is pretty hard to do. And in doing so as well, achieve even more gold medals and more medals on the international stage. So one of the things that's important to do is look at our membership value proposition. Look at the cost of a USA Water Polo membership and try to say at all times that we know that the cost is far less than the benefit that our members are receiving. And if we can do that, we're going to be able to grow. We need to identify and solidify key partnerships to grow our sport and awareness, not just in terms of resource they can give us, but also in the reach that they have to be able to help amplify our voice. We need to create new programs to expand our reach. We need to better monetize and optimize our resources to concentrate on growth and excellence. That goes back to the ROI that I was just talking about as well. We need to understand what obstacles there are to joining USA Water Polo and do our best to remove or mitigate them. We're not going to find them all, but if we can find some of them, find these obstacles and think creatively about how to circumvent them or to remove the obstacle, that's going to be a huge effort in helping us with our growth. And then probably most importantly, we need to collaborate with our zones and clubs so that we're all rowing in the same direction. USA Water Polo, or water polo itself, is not a huge sport within the United States, but it's a passionate group of people. And I think that if we're all working together, the sky is absolutely the limit. So the feedback I've had when talking to a lot of these groups is that our events is one of the most very highly valued properties that we have and programs that we supply to our members. In fact, JO's this summer is going to feature over 1,000 teams. There'll be over 30,000 spectators over the 3 sessions that are going to take place across Orange County as well as in Texas. The National League this past year was the largest in the history, and we're expecting to have over 70 teams to compete in the Masters just in a couple weeks from now. Olympic Development Program, or ODP, is really what distinguishes USA Water Polo from any other organization. The participation is valuable in providing elite training for those pursuing their Olympic or collegiate water polo dreams. And you'll see here, we call it the Olympic Development Program, but in reality, we all know that there's very, very few people who will actually make it onto the Olympic team. In fact, 13 men and 13 women every 4 years are the ones that make it onto that. So what does that say is that the Olympic Development Program is far bigger than just being the pathway for those who are going to be on the Olympics, certainly on the Olympic teams. Certainly it is for them as well. But what happens is through the training that we're able to provide, the feedback that we'll provide to all these athletes, we're actually helping them on whatever journey they're looking for to be able to become better water polo players as well. In addition, the participants that take place in ODP find it aspirational. The kids love to walk through their high school halls the following Monday after a camp wearing their new ODP gear because they're now part of this exclusive family. And it's something that it gets them even more excited to want to continue their water polo journey. In addition, we saw in 2024 and 25 record numbers of athletes and coaches attend their zone selection and development camps. We've expanded the programming to include skills and drills clinics this year, and in fact, we have even more plans to increase the developmental programming across the country in the next 12 months. Let's take a second to look at our membership. So what you're going to see here is that our membership, and this chart, by the way, starts at 2018 and it works its way up to the final numbers of last year. And what you're going to see is that our membership has really been stagnant over the past several years. And you'll see the dip that happened in 20 and 21. That was, of course, during COVID. But you'll also notice that even in the rebound that we've had we have yet to quite achieve where we were even at pre-COVID levels. And that's something that I really want to concentrate on trying to fix. In addition, you'll notice there was a dip last year in 2024, and I believe part of that is because after 2023, we had a new membership program in 2024. We went to a rolling membership instead of going to annual memberships, and in that process, we believe we've seen sort of a dip that's taken place. The team is working really hard to analyze the data on a monthly basis, looking at by gender, by zone, and by age group as well, to really try to see where we're growing, where we're stagnant, and where we're decreasing, where we're having new members come in, where we're actually not seeing renewals, and look and analyzing all of that so we can therefore have a very strategic plan to be able to try and attack the areas where we're challenged to be able to try and get growth. I keep talking about growth, and one of the big areas of growth for us is in partnerships. Obviously, we're a smaller organization, so therefore having great partners is a way for us to amplify our message and provide value to our members. In addition, this is largely what fuels a lot of what we can do at USA Water Polo. So I'm going to compare, what I'm doing here is comparing a little bit what happened in the last quad, which was the Paris quad 2021 to 2024, to what we're looking forward in the new quad that just started, which is the LA quad of 2025 and 2028. Almost all of our deals expired at the end of December 2024. So almost all of our contracts needed to be either renegotiated or new partners needed to be brought in. And I'm happy to say that in the 2025 to 2028 quad, the LA quad, we are now have deals in place where our cast sponsorships have grown by over 100% over what we did in the last quad. In addition, our VIK, or value in kind sponsorship value, has increased by nearly 90%. And what's really exciting about this is that the value in kind, things like balls, nets, swimsuits, caps, etc., these things are products that we get from our sponsors to be able to help mitigate our costs and also to help our programming. But we've been able to achieve such great deals with our partners that now we actually have enough that we can actually be able to use that as part of our growth strategy to seed new club development. So if a barrier to a club starting is, for example, not having balls, we might be able to provide at no cost balls to that club to be able to help them get off the ground. In addition, we've deepened our collaborative partnerships as well to be able to use these groups, which have very wide net, to be able to amplify our message and our voice so that we can get our message in front of many, many more people. But we've also got in part of these deals, gone to each of these partners and try to say, what can you do for our members to help them with a member benefit? And we've been able to negotiate exclusive member benefits, which are really discounts in almost all of these programs, these partners rather, for our membership. And so when you still go back to the member value proposition that I talked about a little bit ago, what you're going to see is that the cost of the membership is actually a lot less now than it was in the past once you factor in all these discounts that we're able to get exclusively for our members as well. So I want to thank our partners for really working with us here, and I'm hopeful that our membership is going to be able to take advantage of this and actually even possibly make money where their savings are even more than they're paying in their actual annual membership to USA Water Polo. Growth marketing. This is getting our message out there. And we've gone to an all-new digital format of Scriptshot. So we announced at the end of April a new 5-year strategic partnership with Swimming World magazine. And in doing so, what we've been able to do is we've been able to increase what was in the past 4 issues per year to now 6. So what that does is it also gives us more real-time information, because when you do it in print, you have to do all the articles, you have to send it to the printer, you have to do the layout, you have to get it all printed, you have to get them back in, and then you have to mail them out. So a lot of the information that we were providing was already out of date. Now, because it's digital, it's much more timely, and therefore we can actually do more issues per year. But in addition to that, we can be much more timely in the information that we're providing. Again, it's still included for free for all of our USA Water Polo memberships. And what's exciting about digital is we know that the majority of our membership are youth. And where do they live? They live in these devices. They live on the mobile phone, or they live on a tablet and things like that as well. They're not reading print. And so now what we're doing is we're bringing our content to where they live. In addition, we're going green, and in doing so, able to save some printing and postage fees as well. But what's really exciting is in this partnership, that we are now able to include special Skipshot water polo articles included in Swimming World magazine itself. And that magazine reaches over 400,000 subscribers, many of which are USA Swimming members. And so therefore, we're now able to introduce water polo into a magazine that is seen by swimming people and try to get them to get excited about our sport. We're not looking to steal members away from USA Swimming, but instead to say, hey, you're already in the water, why don't you try water polo as well? And I believe that if we can get our message in front of them in the right way, that we're going to be able to see this as part of a spike to be able to help reverse that membership trend that I was talking about as well. Another product that we're going to be launching this year is called Try Water Polo for Free. It's a growth clinic. This is largely based on a successful program that we launched at USA Volleyball. And what it is, it's a partnership with our zones and clubs to host free water polo clinics. And we're going to be doing this August, from August 22nd to August 24th, to introduce the sport to our youth. We, at our own expense and our own effort at USA Water Polo, are going to create the program format, develop the marketing materials, provide the registration platforms for all the hosts. Again, all for free, done by us. In addition to that, the clinic and practice plans are going to be provided and actually made specific for various grade levels so that they're most relevant. We're going to have ones for third and fourth graders, fifth and sixth, and seventh and eighth as well. And so in addition to that, it's really good for the hosts as well, because the hosts are going to be able to execute these programs with the goal of converting, at this point it's for free, but many of these participants into full USA Water Polo memberships. And it also helps our hosts be able to engage with the community as well and to be able to get our name and brand out there. I do want to take a second to talk about athlete safety. Athlete safety is the top priority for USA Water Polo. We are strictly in adherence with the safety policies that are in place from the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee, as well as the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, which requires us providing the center with exclusive jurisdiction over most reported cases of sexual, physical, and emotional misconduct. I don't think everyone totally understands how that works, is that when there is a report of sexual or physical or emotional misconduct, we mandatorily report it to the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, and then they take exclusive jurisdiction, which means that they are in charge of doing the investigation and looking into the case and providing whatever the necessary outcome is from each of the cases, whether people are found guilty or innocent, whatever. It's all handled by the center, and that is mandated by Congress and by the USOPC. We do thorough mandatory background screens and safe sport education certifications on our members. We have a requirement in place for our USA Water Polo clubs to be compliant with the BOCRM risk management platform. And in addition to that as well, I'm happy to say that USA Water Polo is in good standing with both the USOPC and the center in regards to our safety practices as well. When looking at the national teams, I know Bill gave a little bit of a recap here, a passionate one at that. It was so exciting to watch the men earn the first bronze medal since 2008. So huge congratulations to our men's team on that success. Our women, of course, as Bill mentioned, did come in fourth, so just off the podium. However, that's not exactly where we wanted to land, but I think we have to look a bit and realize how well the women actually played. While we did end up in fourth place, when you look at the semifinal match and the bronze medal match, the final two matches of the Olympic Games for our women's team, USA only trailed by a total in those two matches of 1 second, which means in all the other times within those two matches, we were either leading or tied. Unfortunately, it was the wrong 1 second. It was the final second of the bronze medal match. But in the semifinals, we were either leading and then ended up tied and lost in a shootout as well. So I think our women can hold their head high. It's not the result we wanted, but I think, as I said, timing is everything, and unfortunately, it didn't work on our side this time. But what that has done is that has really energized both our men and our women's teams to be hungry for the road to Los Angeles in 2028. I'm happy to announce that Adam and Dayon have re-signed as the head coaches for the women's and men's teams respectively. So we've got strong and leadership in trying to develop these programs. This whole journey towards LA is going to be kicking off with World Championships this July in Singapore. And both our men and women are going to be bringing newer, younger teams because it's the first year in a quad. And so what happens there is our coaches like to bring in a lot of new players to be able to test them out, because the ultimate prize, of course, that we're looking at is Los Angeles 28. And in doing so, we need to have the ability to see new and younger players in the pool mixed in with veterans as well. So we're excited to see a new crop of athletes in the pool representing Team USA this summer. Los Angeles, I cannot even begin to tell the excitement that we have around this. As Bill called it, it's a once-in-a-generation type of thing to have a U.S.-based games. And in fact, it's our first home games in the United States since the 1996 Olympics. But in addition, 2028 is going to be a really special year for USA Water Polo. Not only is it the LA Games, but it also represents the 50th anniversary of USA Water Polo, which is going to make just all the attention and the hoopla and the excitement around it that much more special for us. The last thing I'd like to talk about is this career advancement program that we've launched, which is really an important program for our national teams. The problem that we're trying to solve here is that we have top athletes that decide after maybe doing one Olympic quad to quit our sport to go into the workplace. We're very fortunate that we have a really talented group of athletes that are not only great in the water, but they're also really smart. And so all of them have really strong college degrees and at some point want to turn towards getting on with their career. And what we want to do is try to provide a national team career growth pathway for them so they can be going and working towards careers at the same time as they're also staying in the pool and being senior national team athletes with us. Our athletes are not only exceptional water polo players, but they're strategic thinkers. They possess unmatched teamwork abilities and they're remarkable leaders. And I believe that is a great thing for companies to be interested in. So we're trying to look for companies that are out there who are looking for these types of skills and to try and find companies that are in the fields that our athletes are interested in going into. And we're looking at paid type of opportunities for them, whether it's full-time, part-time, or internships as well. Athletes can also serve as ambassadors for the companies so that they can be able to meet with key staff members, meet in partnership meetings that the companies are having as well, or just be aspirational for the team as well. I think that if we can get this program off the ground, it's going to be very key to our retention of our athletes up through the LA Games, but also into the Brisbane Games in 2032 and beyond. And we've created a working group to help work on this program. And that working group includes industry leaders and Olympic athletes as well. So by this time, including Olympic athletes into this working group, we're ensuring that this program is going to be something that not only meets the needs of the companies, but also meets the needs of the athletes as well. And so the input from the athletes is very, very important. I'd like to give a shout out to the team behind the team. This is the USA Water Polo staff that works tirelessly every day with one thing: doing what's best and working hard to make the experience for our members possible. So huge shout out and thank you to this team for the tireless work that they do and everything that they've done to grow the sport. So with that, I would like to once again thank all of you for everything you do for USA Water Polo. I am truly humbled and honored to be able to work alongside such a dynamic and passionate group of people, and I'm excited by what we are all going to be able to achieve together. Thank you for spending time this Saturday morning with us, and go USA.